Hi guys, welcome to our I3 webinar covering Seesaw. My name is Christine Seepaul and I work at Schrady Middle School in Rowlett and teach 7th and 8th grade advanced literary skills and 7th grade reading. My partner's name is Shelby Malik and she works at Sam Houston Middle School and teaches 6th grade ELA. Please feel free to ask us questions on the chat of this video and my partner Shelby will try her best to respond to everyone. If you have any other questions maybe that you think of after the video, feel free to shoot us an email. Here is our information.
McKenna Corona, please come to the front office. McKenna Corona.
It is looking crazy on here. Give me 1 second. All right, here's our information. My email is kmcpaw@garlandisd.net and hers is slmalik@garlandisd.net. And here is our Twitter name, so you can follow us on Twitter and shoot us a tweet if you would like as well. So I am just going to thank you for spending your 30 minutes after school. I know time is very valuable. So on this Thursday afternoon, I'm just going to jump straight into it. The topic that we are going to cover today is Seesaw. Seesaw is going to help aid us in instructing 21st century learners and move towards a modern digital age of classwork and learning. Seesaw will help teachers get parents to interact with their students and be involved in their education. It also helps us teachers to get students more engaged and excited about their work.
McKenna Corona, you're needed in the office.
Excuse me. Teachers can view all classwork on their iPads instead of lugging around papers or going through those heavy Springboard books, just for example. Seesaw aligns with our ISTE Standard 1, being an empowered learner, and IST Standard 2, being a digital citizen, and then ISTE Standard 6, being a creative communicator. If your kids know how to use Instagram, Seesaw is a similar concept. It allows students to independently document what they're learning at school and post online. Instead of taking selfies of themselves, they are taking pictures of their work. Students can show what they know using photos, videos, drawings, text, PDFs, and links. And the great thing is everything gets organized into one place and is accessible to teachers from any device. Students can work with each other collaboratively and share with their classmates, parents, or publish to a class blog. Students will have a real audience for their work, and it offers parents a personalized window into their child's learning. So here are some slides that we're going to go through. I'm going to lay the foundation first, and then I will actually show you the real app so that you can see what it actually looks like. So here's just an overview. What is Seesaw? It's a multimedia journal that empowers students to showcase what they're learning at school. I really like this format because our students are already so familiar with social media and Instagram and gaining followers and likes and all these kinds of things. So this format will be very familiar to them because it is essentially, they call it a multimedia journal, but it reminds me so much of what Instagram is in just a more multifaceted capacity. So how does it work? We'll create a class, and I'll show you that here in a little bit, and each student gets their own journal stored in the cloud. Students and teachers add artifacts of learning like photos, videos, and drawings, and students can add voice or text or drawing annotations to an item, which is super cool, and I really like that part. Another great aspect of Seesaw is that we have to approve their journal items. So this means if there are any inappropriate comments or maybe inappropriate posts, they go through us as a filter. We're the teachers, so we approve or don't approve these items so we can make sure that all the content is safe and appropriate for the students and their parents even. Over time, Seesaw builds an organized digital portfolio. In my classrooms, I like to display work on walls, but after we learn a new lesson, new work goes up on the walls. So the good thing is this is stored online in this format so that we can view their work over time. So it isn't just a bulletin board and you can only see that one display at a time. You can actually go back and see their full portfolio of work, which is really neat. Why should you try it? I know that we are given all kinds of apps and all kinds of opportunities to try new things in our classroom, and it may seem like there's a lot going on, but I personally do use Seesaw, and I do feel like it's worthwhile. At least give it a try, because the great thing is you can set your class up in just a few minutes. So maybe you can pilot it with maybe a smaller class and just see how it works, and if you like it, you can introduce it to the other classes. It is designed for students to add items on their own, which takes the burden of organizing and sharing work off your shoulders. But if you want to add items, you can easily do that as well. Another thing is, you don't have to figure out, I have this problem in my class when students work on the laptops, because we have laptops in my room, that the students really struggle saving their work because they don't know how to save it to their directory, or they'll accidentally save it to the desktop, and then we have to go figure out which laptop they used last and try and recover that work. And I like this better because it is photo, it is posted, and it is not lost. So it's on the web, and it's not mysteriously disappearing into all these folders on the computers. It's safe and secure, and parents become more connected to the classroom, and they can even receive personalized communication like texts or email notifications without you having to do anything. You don't lift a finger. Student features. Another good thing is students do not have to sign up for accounts. A lot of kids get really confused when they have to sign up with email and password and security questions and things like that. This app gives you a QR code, and as long as the students have a QR reader on their phone or on their tablet, they can just scan it, and all they have to do is tag themselves in the work that they're posting. For me, I did require my students to sign up with an email and a password, and we don't use the QR code in my class, but if you wanted to skip that step of creating accounts and passwords, you could just use the QR coder, and that would be a second option. Student features. I will show you this here in a little bit, but this is what they can do. They can post photos, videos, drawings, or upload things from their camera rolls. Here's an example of something I think is really cool, especially for maybe like a math class. I'm going to zoom this up. They can record over it, or they can draw over it, which is kind of what I want to show you. They could take a picture of a worksheet they're working on, and they can draw their, see those number 5s right there? They can draw those numbers on, and then they can graph it themselves using the color tools, which is great because it saves paper, and they can erase it and restart it, and you can do all kinds of things. So I think that's pretty neat. In my class, I like to try to require my students to write captions along with every picture. And we actually just tried the voice recorder yesterday, and I'll show you an example of that as well here in a little bit. We've talked about this. Teachers have to approve items, which super important. We don't want inappropriate things being posted, so I like that I can quickly scan and approve things. If you notice, it's kind of like, excuse me, kind of like Instagram. Here at the top, it'll give me a notification. So I'll say, oh, I have something I need to approve, and I will review it and approve it or not approve it. Teacher features, organized and accessible. We've already kind of touched on this. I can access it from an iPad, iPhone, just the internet in general. Any device that connects to the internet, you will be connected to Seesaw. Personalized parent communication. This is cool. Automatic notifications will be sent to them if the parents download the app, or you can send them text messages or emails. They can sign up to get these notifications automatically when their child, anything updates in their child's journal, basically. Engage parents with visual updates. I think it's kind of neat because they can see what their kid is up to in classes. I think this would be really useful for if you had a parent-teacher conference and you wanted to show the parents what your kids are up to in your class. I always like to bring work with me to show parents, and I think this would be kind of a cool way to show them what their child is up to. Content is safe and secure. Data is never shared with third parties, and the journals are only accessible by the people that have been invited to see them, and that really should just be the teacher, the students, and the parents. Teacher resources. Student introduction is provided for you. So a presentation has already been created. You can show this PowerPoint to the kids to kind of explain what Seesaw is, and they've already done that work for you. And they have instantly printable invitations you can send home to the parents. And then, of course, the QR code. If you choose to go that route, you have that QR code ready to print. So here is the part where I'm going to demonstrate this app to you. we would first download this app from the App Store. The parents would download the one on the right, the parent icon right here. We would download the one on the left, the class icon.
Ms. Montavon, if you're in the building, can you please call box 2497? Ms. Montavon, box 2497.
Excuse me. All right. So here's my Seesaw. For the purposes of this presentation, I've changed all the names to just the initials for privacy reasons. But normally these icons right here on the right would be their names, and then they can choose. I can choose an icon for them, which they really like the emoji icons, and they have a lot of fun saying, I want the panda or I want the turtle, and it's just another way they can relate to this app because it's something they're already familiar with. Okay, so as you can see, I have my 5th period right here, and then my 6th period down here at the bottom. The first thing I notice when I log in is that I have notifications ready for me. So this is a part where I can go approve posts. It says tap here to review 11 unapproved items in your class. So when I look at this, I'm approving these comments because what I like to do is I have students post their work, and then I have a requirement is for them to go post a comment on somebody else's work that's constructive or positive. And the kids, like I said, they get excited when they get comments, and they get excited when they get likes because that's exactly how their brains are already wired. So I am going to approve some of these comments here. And then I will show you the actual posts here in a second. Okay, so I've approved all those, they're fine. If I wanted to add an item, this is kind of what their screen would look like. We could take a photo. I'll just show you an example here, photo of my mouse. And I could draw on top of it. I can record over it, which I'm not gonna do because that would probably sound crazy right now. And then, of course, write things on top of it. So that's kind of cool as well. Their other options are video recording, which I won't try and do that right now. Drawing, I think this could be really cool if you're trying to do a quick check. Instead of passing out whiteboards, you can just have them do their work on here by just drawing. And that saves you paper, that saves you the time of having to clean an expo marker, and you know they go crazy with that spray and everything. So this seems like a simpler solution to some things. There's also camera roll. You can upload something directly from your camera roll. So I will just upload my kitties, and they, like I said, could draw whatever on these pictures. So we will look at my news feed now, or they can link something or write a note. A note just is kind of like Microsoft Word, I suppose. All right, so here is my feed view. This is just set up exactly like Instagram. I had my kids post pictures that they drew of a book that they read, and then they annotated the book. So they did their voice on top of it, describing, kind of like hooking the reader and trying to describe the book to us. If you notice, this one has some blacked out stuff on the edges, and I went back and I blacked out the kids' faces if they showed for, you know, privacy reasons. So I will play one of these for you so you can hear.
A city under New York City and prophecies to conquer, and a warrior by the name of Gregor. He and his sister Boots go through the prophecies of each prophecy with its own adventure. They meet giant insects such as cockroaches, rats, mice, spiders, and bats that they ride. No humans know of the underland except for Gregor, Boots, and Gregor's dad. They went down to the underground looking for their dad that is captured by rats, but it's unknown if they will find him.
Okay, so I think she did great. We kind of talked about using inflection in their voices and making it interesting. So as a teacher, I could like this, and I could say, great reading. Your voice sounded awesome. And I could post that. Parents can actually even post on here as well. And as you can see, there's a microphone there, so I could even record myself talking if I wanted to. So she has quite a few comments here. I know she'll be excited when she logs on tomorrow and sees that I have approved it and that other people have commented and I've approved those comments. But we have posted a lot over here. And the kids are really, really enjoying it. So this is just one feed. All right, so it looks like there's a calendar as well if you wanted to schedule things. A skills view, tag student posts with your own customized set of skills, which I think is kind of a fun personalized way to add some more tags. Unapproved items, I shouldn't have any, so we'll skip that. All right, so right here at the bottom, I'm just gonna click new class and I'll show you how you would set up a class. We'll just call this example. Grade level, second grade. So how do you want students to sign in? I haven't tried the QR code yet because I want kids to take ownership and be able to log in at home and all that kind of stuff and just take, I feel like they would appreciate it better. So I did email, so I'll just say use email and Google account. An example is set up. Students will join your class by typing in your code the first time they use Seesaw, and we've also sent you an email with detailed instructions. So right here are some instructions for them. It says students will need to tap I'm a student, sign up this way. Over here, what I do, here's the join code, by the way, and it's only valid for 15 minutes. So you would just have your class sign up at the same time, but they would tap I'm a student, sign up with their email, and then join, and that's the join code. And then I would manage them over here. So this is where I could change their names like I did for today's webinar. I changed it to their initials, and I gave them icons over there. And I'll show you how I did that too. So just for example, manage students on this one. They have all these different little apps that we could give them. He wanted a panda, so we did panda. But there are all kinds of fun things. So this is kind of a quick look at Seesaw. I hope that you can find some application for it because my kids really like it so far. And they get excited. They're like, are we getting on Seesaw today? And they really do like it.
Seesaw?
Yes.
Have anyone in tutorials right now?
No, but I'm doing a webinar.
All right, I'll come to you.
Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all I have to share. If you have any questions, I know I kind of flew through this, but feel free to ask us. I'm still learning. It's still a work in progress for me. When we have our one-to-one student iPad ratio, it will be even easier to use this. So yes, feel free to reach out and be sure to click on the link and give us some feedback that my partner is going to leave and get your credit for watching this webinar. We hope you have a great Thursday.